got me some fresh pineapple juice at the spot, and about to get in on this live. Pull the plug. What they about to do next? So hit the subscribe, resubscribe, hit your notifications, hit the like. Also join in on the comments too, because that's very important. Keep the channel going. Um, Activity to keep it going. But as soon as a few of you jump on here, I'll get going for a few minutes. And what I'm discussing today is the title, Pull the Plug, What They Will Do Next. Most of y'all think y'all know what they will do next, but you really don't know. You really don't have no clue what's going on. You just think you know what's going on. And the problem is, most people that think they know what's going on are basing what they think is going on and what's going to happen next based on what the media says or what's going on in news cycles. Okay, so they already know they can get to you. If you guys can jump on the chat real quick and let me know if my audio is clean before I keep going. Make sure everything's coming through clear. I appreciate it. Ivana, what's up? Make sure just you guys just let me know if my audio is clean, and then I'll just keep going. Um, but anyway, we're going to talk about, we're going to discuss pulling the plug and what they about to do next. So everybody got options. Everybody has um, something they can do. Even if you think you don't, you got something you can always do about something. The first somethings start up here in the mindset. Okay, so once you realize, appreciate that feedback. Once you realize that probably literally about 97% of your battles out here on this planet is here. Once you realize that, you'll start figuring out you got to work out up here. You got to exercise this, not just in reading stuff just for the heck of it, or just so you feel good about something, reading a romance novel. That's cool too, but what I mean up here is you have to start exercising like the concepts of why this controls everything out there. Once you start learning and producing energies from that viewpoint, that's when you can start harnessing the power of this to change out there. Everybody's looking at the media, letting them tell you how things are about to happen, about when you're watching movies on how things are appearing to be in the future. Like a movie represented today will kind of dictate what your thoughts are in the future. If you watch enough of them, it'll recalibrate your thinking from a place or into a place that they have ultimate control, even though you think you're controlling something. So pulling the plug, you got to learn how to pull the plug, not just the electricity off your TV set, or stop watching your phone so much, or stop doing all this entertainment activity so much. Those are some forms of pulling the plug, because all of those coordinated forms of control, equipment, and what do you say, audio visual aids is leading everybody to a place that either they can't unplug, or unplugging is very difficult and it takes some time, which I still rather work with the difficult, take some time, knowing I'm working out of something and into the new something, instead of working myself deeper into the old something I have nothing, I don't want nothing to do with. So people got to understand, like, the term pull the plug is not you ain't got to go like all the way, zero dark 30 and like, yo, I'm getting out of the matrix, I'm about to do a Neo, or I'm about to do a Morpheus and zoom up. But nah, we don't have that much information yet. I don't, but we can. I'd rather be 50% out of something I don't want to be in than 100% in and having to deal with the stupidity of being in there. So more than 90% of the issue is your mind right here. In the movies, the Matrix and this movie and that movie, they're always trying to get into your mind, get into your thoughts, your ultimate control center. That's what they after. The movie's sitting there telling you. So now, but if you watch movies, entertainment in a different context, you trying to piece together information, you're getting populated in your thoughts to better yourself. That's a good healthy way to view movies if you're looking for details and subtle nuances about how they construct the program for you and me to flow into residually without noticing we even in a program. If you watch movies to be able to detect, yo, what are they trying to convey here? What truth are they disclosing to the populations that are watching this? Because you know most movies, entertainment is a form of consent, right? Oh, you just thought it was just you having fun, and the horror movies and the zombie movies was just like, oh man, that was crazy. I was on the edge of my seat, and you paid, $25 for a box of popcorn and a Coke, and $10 for a ticket to have yourself psychologically dismantled and reprogrammed into some other form of humanity. That's what you're paying for. You don't realize that those are disclaimers. Like what they would have planned for you, they need consent. So they put it in a form of entertainment. Go look up, break down the word entertainment. Enter is one word. Something's entering. Okay. The word tain, T-A-I-N, that's an actual thing. Tain is a thing. Okay. And then ment, that's always discussing the mental. So governmental, government, ment means mental. So entertainment, enter in the tain, T-A-I-N. Go look it up in the dictionary or whatever, or online or whatever. Um, Tain is that thin metal parchment lining that they put behind a glass that turns it into a mirror that then reflects back the image that's in front of it. It reflects it back. We call it a mirror. Well, that's what tain is. It's the little thin parchment. So it's almost like, kind of could be used as a metaphor for really, to really see through this, you got to remove this thin layer of something. But you can't remove the thin layer of something on the back of the mirror or scrape it off because you don't know it exists as a thing. So it's always going to be a mirror to you. But because I know the word tain and the material they use to form that and they put it behind a piece of glass and turn it into a mirror, I know that that could be added or removed. Then I can see all the way through where I'm headed. A mirror is made, we think it's made for beauty, so we can see ourselves and fix stuff. Yeah, I mean, I could probably use one now. I don't have my glasses on, but I can't. I could use a mirror while I use a phone, make sure nothing's floating around in my nostrils. But the whole point I'm making is, if you don't know the tain exists, you you have no idea what's going on. So with pulling the plug, you got to know what the tain part is. In the pulling the plug, you got to know why you're pulling the plug. What's the purpose? Because otherwise you won't never pull a plug. You won't never disconnect from the frequency that they got everything being programmed through. So unplug. You got to unplug. If it's important to you to have more capacity to operate your mind, which controls your environment, everything around you is being controlled by all these minds. And all these minds for the last 100 years being dominated by a couple of sources, forming the minds into probably weapon systems. Because your thoughts can turn into weapon systems. Yeah, that's why you get abrasive people around you all the time, because their thinking is tainted. It's totally corrupted, and so then they don't realize they're using their energy creating things in the environment all around you. So they can put you in a ghetto physically, but until you start really believing that's what it is, it don't have to never come to being a ghetto, because then they give you the word for the word ghetto, the conditions, the meaning, and then they create less mobility for you to move around, keeping you in a geographical area. And then your carnal mind begins to go, oh, I'm stuck here. And as soon as you give in to I'm stuck here, then that's what it is. And then you degrade with the environment. So we're either making we're either making things better around us or we're making things worse. Ain't no middle. Ain't no, oh, I'm just chill. Okay, you pick the side when you just chill. Everything in life is always proactive. It could be proactive negatively, it could be proactive positively. You can't be proactive middly. There's no such thing as the middly. Everything is moving. Even things that are sitting still are moving. There's atomic features to all these inanimate objects that the chair you sitting on still has movement to it, even though physically you don't see it moving. All the particles that make up the chair are not necessarily fixed. They're only fixed there because my mind says that's a chair. And then it organizes all the particles, particulate that's floating around. They call it matter. Why does it matter? All the matter that's floating around, and it organizes it in such a way that my brain interprets that that chair is meant for me to sit on. If my mind was recalibrated, cleaned out 90%, and then I was able to take in a different program, I could probably make that chair not be there. It wouldn't be a chair to me necessarily, and maybe then it wouldn't exist. But everything that exists is coming from the fact that all the minds believe that something exists like that. This is how they create worlds within inside of worlds within inside of worlds. So you're probably in a world inside another world inside another. There's no probably to it. That's what's going on. They've created worlds around you, and you didn't never realize or didn't get the memo that you was the world. But they got you in a bubble world, maybe trapped into 2 or 3 bubble worlds you can't never break out of because you've accepted the fact that I'm in the world. This is how it be. It is what it is. Some stuff is what it is, but that's after the fact. Up until after the fact, everything is changeable. Everything is movable. Everything is recreatable. But if you don't have a mind that says that you got anything to do, that's the perfect, that's the perfect, dirty trick on humanity is to, well, they did a doozy on us too. They keep up with it too. So suggesting to groups of people at a time that they don't have any authority, they don't have any power. I'm the ultimate. I say jump, you jump, and you look up here to me, and I'm the one that is your God. Okay, look on your dollar. In God we trust. Okay, you better ask which one they're talking about. You assuming that it's the one you go to church on Sunday, you're thinking is the God. That's not the one that's on that dollar, that American money. That's not the one. There's many operating in and around you. And because you're unaware that all of these gods are floating around in and around your environment, you're fixated on one program version of it. You can't see, and if even they use the word God, you go, oh, that's God. That's the one I'm down with. Yo, that's a title. A lot of titles are in religion. Lord, God, those are titles given unto men. Just like mayor, governor, you know, emperor, all that stuff. It's the same title system. It's just in English. If it ain't Greek, it's English. So if you don't know etymology or any of that stuff, and you don't know anything about tracing words backwards, let's say, and figuring out where they came from, or you never even asked the question to yourself, yo, where did that word come from? And who gave it the meaning? As long as, if you don't do that, um, right, and ask questions about everything that's around you, that's the first step in never being able to pull the plug. You have to be a question. You got to be a problem solver, question, at all times, questioning everything. Why? Why wouldn't you? Why would you just go along with something somebody told you? Our parents tell us stuff, but at least they love us and they tell us stuff. It might not be right, but they doing it in love. Got a different frequency to it. You might be able to figure that one out later. But, you know, why would anybody want to tell you? One, they don't know. Two, it's profitable for people that you never in the know. It's less profitable when you in the know. So as long as you out of the know, other people get to go, go, go. They get to live their life, do their passion, do their dreams. They get to do all that on your energy bank account, let's say. Y'all know a bank account is pretty much, um, it's pretty much, cool. Sorry about that, guys. Your a bank account is a representation uh, of energy and thoughts. The bank tricks you into depositing it there because supposedly it's safer to store it there. Think of the bank as a brain. They storing money. They actually storing energy, your energy and other people's energy there. Why? Because you go out, well, assuming that, oh, I'm going to work, hitting it hard, gotta make my money, I gotta do what I gotta do to come up, and you doing everything in heaven and earth to go and keep your house together, and you out there putting in, some people sweat blood and tears. I've done it plenty, half of my whole life. That was my hustle, so I already know it real well. You putting out all this energy to capture this one item. The thing they say is money. Then, after all of that work, you go and trust it to somebody who go put it in the bank. So you give it to the very people that got the system proposed against you, suggested against everything suggested against you, so that you can stay out of the know. But just think of your bank account at the local bank as your brain. You put energy in there, and then the difference is when you put positive energy here, it can flow through your body and come out as something performed, the action emitted. But when you go put it in the bank, you just put your energy into a dead pool. It has no reciprocating positive effects for you. And then you take on more risk actually leaving it there than you would digging a hole in the backyard and throwing it in the ground. Because the bank is going to use your energy. Remember, stop thinking about it as money. But they're going to use your energy to create more energy for themselves, more positive energy for themselves, while they leave you in the dust. It's a program too, because as you continue to do that program, you become accustomed to it. It becomes a habit. It becomes habitual. Now you trust in it more. In God, you trust on the money. Oh, we got to make sure we nail this home and put it on the money, the thing that they look so high to, the thing that they have to claw and scratch to get. And some people get it real easy and some people don't. But all of this stuff, they gotta get this or else they can't live. See, when you don't pull the plug from this system and start getting out of it, the system is here. You ain't gotta go get off grid physically yet. You ain't gotta go dig a hole and put a bunker under it. You ain't gotta do all that yet. Because if this ain't straight, none of that's really gonna matter. It ain't gonna help you. This gotta be the strongest thing. This is the thing that transfers your pure light energy to anywhere in the universe, if there's such a thing, anywhere in this realm, anywhere in the next realm and other realms, if you get to those levels. But it starts with asking questions about everything physical around you. Why, when I was 6 years old, 7 years old, I never forget, I remember, because I remember the question I asked my mom. Mom, why do they call a car a car? She said, well, that's what they call it. That's what the name is. I said, why can't that be called a house? We always in the car. We never at home. I said that. I never forget. So I'm like asking questions like, why does it have to be called that? Y'all know somebody gave each thing a name. And no, it wasn't Adam and Steve. I mean, Adam and Eve. Ha ha ha. It wasn't those two characters at all. But somebody coded everything to put into the system so that you and me could only use a select few sounds and consonants and frequencies and decibels and whatever to communicate with each other. This English language was basically created so that you can work and produce and communicate while producing as a group so that somebody at the top of that food chain could gain more. Y'all know the English language ain't that old. You got 3 or 4 different versions of it. We speak they gave us the servant, you know, bottom of the barrel, simple-minded, dumb people version. Then you got the King's English. That's where you get that King James stuff from. And that Bible is that thou art the loveliest, thou art thou. That's where you get all that stuff from, because it's a whole different code, whole different frequency on the King's English. They trained us in, they wanted to get rid of all the witches, so they had the Salem witch hunts and all that stuff. We still unplugging because I'm giving y'all examples that Salem witch hunts to get rid of all the witches. Well, y'all know them witches wasn't who the characters in the movies are not the witches. They was people that looked like me and you. There was European people that had powers and abilities stemming from their natural features being a human. See, they got you thinking superheroes or anomalies, because now they are, because they went around killing off. That's just like doing a genocide campaign, ethnic cleansing back then. They just didn't use that term. But they had to demonize something that could defeat them and make it the bad guy, and then create pictures, the witch on the broom, big nose and all that crazy stuff, ugly looking witches. But witches was people, just beautiful, ugly, fat, skinny, blonde, black hair, brunettes, whatever. It was just people. It was dudes too. It was kids too. So they do the Salem witch hunts to round up all the powers that can look. That's a threat. That's a threat to a lot of kingdoms, is that all these people, if they got together and they all witched together, we'd be in trouble, y'all. So we got to do something about all this. They made movies about the recent movies where, what's it called? Not, I can't remember the name of but what's the dude that got the claws, and he can make the claws come out and he turned to Wolverine or whatever. I can't think of the damn movie, but y'all know what I'm talking about. All them characters. So now it's only a few of them on the earth, right? Then they made the movie Incredibles, the kids movie, and they made all the superheroes. They was killing them off. They was ending up dead. If they wasn't dead, they was putting them in an office job. They had to live a normal life and not be incredible no more. Not be super anymore. So those are storylines relating back to the powers that me and you had mentally before they started pumping stuff in you when you was born. Before they started putting stuff in the food and putting stuff in the water and putting stuff in the air, putting stuff in your shoes, putting stuff in your shirts, putting stuff in the earplug, the whole nine. Before all of that, before TV, before the programming took effect with this audio simulated programming and virtual programming, people were operating on a higher mental plane and higher mental, how should I say, a higher mental power base than we do now. There was more oxygen in the air, pure oxygen, for your brain to work correctly and to its highest potential. But now we probably on 75% breathing oxygen. Like it's 25% depleted because of all the toxins and poisons and everything else up in here. Well, they already know. They already know. So anyway, these are just a few examples of who you really are under all the layers of programming that we accepted and paid for, got bribed into, got brought into the world. Good intentions can still lead to bad outcomes. Everybody know that when your parents raised you a certain way, depending on how they was raised and what programming they got. Good intentions, I love you. I'm just showing you that's all I know. It don't mean you're gonna have a good outcome with that type of program. So it's all about the programming. It's all about what you now you the beautiful thing is that we all have an opportunity to change the program, implement and deploy a new the new equipment. Your body is the equipment. Your mind is the supercomputer. This is this is every this houses the power to go into every aspect of every century, every time, every wherever there were minds thinking, we have the abilities to tap into those resources. But if you stay plugged in 24/7 and twice on Sundays, you got no opportunity to even figure any of that out. You got no opportunity to experiment with, oh, I'm gonna reprogram myself, with understanding first I gotta deprogram. You can't put new software in a corrupted hard drive. It'll corrupt the new software. You have to get a new hard drive. You gotta unplug the old one. You gotta get rid of all the old memory that used to be, and before you can input all of the new information. You don't want to corrupt the new files because then your operating system will not operate correctly. Your brain, your body, operating system, your hardware, software. You got to look at it like that. Everything you take in on a constant is recalibrating, restructuring DNA molecules, restructuring matter, restructuring all kinds of stuff. The only thing that holds this place together is we all believe this is what we're seeing. I believe the sky is blue and some fluffy white clouds over here, right? I believe that I'm drinking pineapple juice. Why I believe it? I was born here in the physicalities of things, so that's what they told me it was. Then they gave me this little straw. I can just, how I know it's a straw, somebody told me it's a straw. How I know it's called pineapple, that's what they told me. It don't mean that's true or your truth or your real. It just means that's the program, the sequence for the program to keep running like it does. You have to call files in the computer something or nobody know what the hell it is. They won't know how to go retrieve any data from it or use anything forward or backwards. It'd be stuck like Chuck. What if you put a bunch of files in there and they was clear? They didn't even have the little yellow folder. Well, you couldn't see no files. So now you just got a computer. You know it's something on there, but you can't never find the something to find out what's on there. What's the point then? A lot of people brain operating like that. They brain operate files in there, but they're not coded. They don't have color. They don't even know how to access the files. Hard drive is corrupt. Got bugs, got glitches, got shuts down. You know, people have mental issues and shut down, depression. The computer, the hard drive shut down. Too much corrupted data on it, too much stress on the system. That's how stuff shut down. That's why I told you that's where the word dis-ease comes from. Y'all say disease. Oh, she got Parkinson's disease. No, you got dis-ease in your body. Before it turns permanent, the dis-ease can be worked out. But if you don't believe that, you just get what you get. I mean, this is just how this place works. What's the solution? Know that you need to unplug. Even if you fast from TV, fast from media, fast from watching presidential stupidity forum, fast from watching all the what they about to do next. Oh my goodness, this and that. And people gonna be like, yo man, you ain't even over here, you over there, so you don't know what's going on over here. I've been over there my whole life until now. I still know what's going on over there. Do I have to experience firsthand the exact things that you're doing. No, but you don't have to experience what I got. Stuff over here I got to deal with too. Told y'all, wherever people at in the world, that's the problem. So unless you go into and then you go to a deserted island full of gold, full of food, full of everything you need to just be there and relax and enjoy the rest of your life and die. But because you there, it's messed up. You done messed the whole spot up. The fish was good. The sea turtles was tight. Everything was dope. The birds flying over everybody. Then you show up on the island and F it all up. So wherever people be, that's the problem. So you're not going to ever escape that as long as you live and be around people. But what you can fix and what you can escape out of is the prison you have here, and fix the program you have up here. Acknowledging you got a problem is the first step. Sound like AAA, Alcoholic Anonymous, AA. Acknowledging that you're an alcoholic is the first. Yeah, you have to acknowledge that, dang, maybe my programming is jacked up. That's why everything keep happening how it happened and don't change. But I be trying to get it to change. And yeah, you trying to move a mountain with not even a mustard seed of mental capability up there to be able to start the process. The mountain don't need to be moved physically from your vantage point. Your mountain of doubt and unbelief and so on and so forth in yourself, that's the mountain. The metaphor, the mountain, you think of a big old rock. No, the real mountain, the real obstacle is this. That's the real obstacle. And a mustard seed, a little bit of real truth about you and about your abilities can move all of them dirty rocks in your mind, stopping you from moving forward, stopping you from going further, faster, or whatever you want to. It's keeping you in place. So a lot of people just look at the rock, the mountain, and be like, I'm gonna just call it a wrap. I'm gonna just hang out here at the mountain. And it's a beautiful rock. It's not producing anything for me but aesthetical pleasure and knowing that I'm trapped here. But it's just still nice. The blue sky and the rock mountains is beautiful. But you don't see too many people living in the mountains. You just don't. Yeah, people got houses up in the mountains throughout America. What I'm saying, everywhere else in the world, ain't a lot of people living in the mountains. It's an obstacle. It's hard. It's rough life. If you're going to really live up there, you got to have some money, go up there and do it how you need to do it. But then that's a whole nother back in the program thing. So look, the moral of the story, I'm going to get out of here. The moral of the story is not throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's not just go crazy on a whole nother extreme. Don't do that. I already been there on several fronts. It's not profitable. But what you do is just simply start asking questions about everything. What is this and why is it called that? Go look it up. Find the definition. Find out that the certain characters in a word actually relate to certain other things in other languages that are derogatory or that are not positive for your life. Then you start the clock right there when you start getting into, oh, that's why that is. I'm not going to say that anymore because it's possibly generating this for me. Yeah, it could be. Very well could be. Start asking questions. Stop worrying about other people's version of what your life is supposed to be right now and suggest to yourself. You have to be a suggester to self at all times how you want life to be. Don't let them suggest nothing. Don't let them suggestions lead to actions. Actions lead to physical things, and physical things, if they bad, lead to dis-ease in your body, which creates maybe a shorter lifespan. Ultimately, you can't live out your version to be ready to get to the next level because they got you in the bubble, in the world bubble, bubbles inside of bubbles, rooms inside of rooms, subdivisions inside of subdivisions, boxed in your house, in the room with the door, closed the room, boxed in the ground when you die in the coffin, boxed in your car when you're driving, boxed in everywhere you go, there's a box. All the buildings are made out of boxes because they know circular is, that's the flow of life. Boxes, corners cause you to pull up and stop and then turn. So it slows mobility down. The wealthiest of the wealthiest are on cyclical or cycles, cycles of things, circles. They're not on square thinking. Everything is ever moving, everything is ever changing, everything is like the cycle of life kind of thought. They produce the squares for y'all, slow you down. So you got to pull up, stop, and then turn. So that's what's being done around you at all times. But you got to know and be aware that that's what's going on in order to make changes. So this video, about to cut it out, cut it off. I got to roll. But this is to help us just make changes. So I need for y'all, everybody that's on here, when this video posts, go ahead, come back to the comments, drop some comments. Some of y'all teachers ain't got no channel, so put your teaching, put some stuff on mine, put it in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Keep everything moving, and always you be the top suggest. I guess it's called suggestor. You be the top person suggesting to self at all times, right? What you want this to be and what you want that to be. Once you get strong at that, they can't get at you as much. That creates the space for you to then create the look, the version that you want out there in the environment. Then you start getting what you, so if you see me in a Rolls Royce, if you see me in a Ferrari, if you see me, that's just an expression of my energy. Don't get it twisted. Oh, that's not the most important things in life. Expression of your being is one of the most important things in life. And if you can't express yourself, it causes dis-ease. If you can't enjoy expressing, like a painter paints a painting, or an artist carves a carving, or a pottery person does a pot, and they're creating through expression of their being this thing that other people can't create and other people pay to get. If you can't be doing that, then you at about 25% existence here, maybe less. So you got to ask yourself the question, what level of existence do I want to have here? And then know that there's a way to get to the higher level of existence. Because at the end of the day, y'all all know this to be true. Everybody under the sound of my voice would absolutely, unequivocally want to have more resources than less. Why? That's how the system's set up. You didn't create it, I didn't create it. We gotta do the best in it. So the only way to do that is to learn how the system works, apply pressure where pressure needs, release pressure where pressure needs to be released, but attain your existence while you're here. Clock is ticking for everybody, billionaire or somebody living on the street, it don't matter. The clock is ticking. Your vehicle body ain't gonna last that much longer. You only here for a specific amount of time. Get up off your ass and do something about your situation. All right? So I'm gonna get up out of here. I gotta roll. Go out here and get some of this existence. I love it. We're at this little cafe joint. It's a little foreigner spot. You know, nighttime, it turned into like a little club. My friends own this spot. So I got me some pineapple juice, and in the morning they do breakfast, but I'm having a great day. I wish for y'all have a great evening. If you're in a daytime zone, have a great day. I'll be back at y'all with some more. Come back on this when this thing drops. Hit some comments. I know how many of y'all really serious about changing something just based on how many people are coming back and commenting. When you comment, you place energy on the situation, the very thing we're talking about. You start injecting energy into it for yourself because you're expressing energy. What you express out, come back. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get up out of here. Appreciate y'all stopping in. I ain't got time to shout out, but shout out to everybody. C. Marie, Miss E, moderators, if they on here. I can't see good because I got these shades on, but I'll talk to y'all on the next one. Till the next, this is Major signing off for another kind of cool video. Peace.